But there is a problem now, a very deep problem for the Republican Party. And, one of the things that I'm seeing everywhere is, oh my God, it's all over. We've become a dictatorship. And of course, I'm extraordinarily concerned about this, about Trump and his evacuation of the rule of law, the fact that he will now never answer to his in the courts to his law breaking or apparent law breaking, well, the state stuff to his law breaking, and what that says about the rule of law in the United States. Those things are real and they are terrifying. But there's a saying that comes from Timothy Snyder, but it's not unique to him. It's anybody who deals with authoritarians. Do not obey in advance. So the people who are saying, oh my God, I can't speak up anymore. I can't do this. I'm frightened about this. You're telling the oppressors what they can do without a struggle. And that is a very good way, to teach them how to become oppressors. And that it's really important to recognize that has not yet happened. And we don't yet know what is going to happen. And we have agency to affect what is going to happen going forward, especially at the state and the local level. But so that being said, for all that Trump is talking about, he's won this huge, he says huge mandate, it's not a mandate, and then he's going to do all these big things. He's got some very, very big problems. The first of them is the one that was there before the election and is still there now. He is not okay mentally. He is slipping mentally. He is not in good mental shape. Okay, so why does that matter? That matters because, first of all, he's going to be very erratic, which is, that's actually not what I want to focus on. Think about this. And again, I'm always telling you, play the other side of the table. Think about this. If you are a Republican who wants to be reelected, who wants to have a career in politics, and regardless of what your politics are, unless you are an absolutely fervent Christian nationalist who believes God is doing everything, in which case you're kind of over there with God. But if you're one who is somehow hoping to continue to participate in the political system through the actual political system, your interest is in setting yourself up in such a way that you can stay in power, that you can be reelected, that you're not going to have, a whole bunch of people complaining about you all the time, regardless of what elections look like. And that's a little bit of a different subject that I may or may not get to. So what are you going to do? There's Trump. He's weak. He is mentally loopy. Who's next? Who's going to run his administration? Well, according to the voters, J.D. Vance is going to do that. The Ohio senator is going to do that. But nobody likes J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance has about 18 months of experience in the Senate where he did nothing. So he has not spent a lot of time learning the ropes. He didn't know the ropes ahead of time. He clearly is a Christian nationalist. Again, he's somebody who doesn't really know how to make things work. Nobody likes him. If you are a Republican, are you going to want J.D. Vance to take over, knowing that he's backed by Peter Thiel, who is this tech bro, right? So maybe not, but then you've got another problem. Who's sitting at Trump's right hand doing all the work right now? Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He essentially bought this presidency. And he is the one who is calling the shots right now for this incoming Trump administration. But there's some problems with that too. First of all, of course, he is not eligible to be president himself. And there is J.D. Vance. And he has a huge ego. And he's not very popular either. So if you are thinking about the next 4 years, it's a little hard not to imagine there's going to be extraordinary tension at the top of that party. What's that going to look like? And how is that going to play out? And you're going to see this playing out tomorrow over the election of a Senate Majority Leader, because Mitch McConnell is stepping away from that position, the leader from Kentucky, and who will replace him is unclear. Trump and Musk have made it very clear they want Rick Scott of Florida, and yet Rick Scott is not popular in the Senate, so among the Republicans or the Democrats, but among the Republicans, who are the ones who'll be voting. So does that put more, give a better chance to somebody like John Thune of South Dakota, who is Mitch McConnell's pick? You know, there's a lot of tensions around who is actually going to be controlling Congress, and that is going to matter for the passage of legislation, because for all that there are a number of true believers in the House, for sure, where Trump commands a majority of the House Republicans, he has not in the past commanded the Senate Republicans. And they, for all that they might, you know, what they really want is lower taxes and no regulation. That is still who they are. That's what they want. And while they want those things, they don't want a lot of what the MAGA Republicans are pushing. You know, they don't want to crash the economy, because that would crash their portfolios too. They don't want the Christian nationalism that would force them to operate according to ideology rather than to the markets. So how that plays out is, you know, I think there's an awful lot of stuff in flux there. But if that's one of the problems they've got, the problem that he is old, and the problem that that he is there really isn't somebody who can take over for him. And he's not going to be, at the rate he's going downhill, I don't expect him to still be functional in 4 years. And that may mean simply that somebody else starts to call the shots in the White House, or they might put him out on the 25th Amendment. Who knows? But he's not mentally healthy. All right. So